When Texas beauty queen Erin Caffey falls in love with the wrong guy.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
I've got a man that's been shot.
A sordid love affair identical to the movie Fear tears a loving family apart.
In both the movie Fear and Erin Caffey's life, what starts out as an innocent crush soon becomes a deadly infatuation.
And like Reese Witherspoon in the movie, Erin can't have what she desires most.
This relationship is over!
The way that Erin's father responded to her Charlie was exactly a carbon copy of how Nicole's father responded in the movie Fear.
When Erin's boyfriend doesn't get what he wants, he vows to destroy anyone standing in his way.
I loved him.
Charlie Wilkinson says that the only way they could be together is if her parents were out of the picture.
But will Charlie get his wish?
It's so sad because he didn't want anything to stand in his way of finally being happy and feeling secure.
Emory, Texas, a quiet little town where everyone feels like family.
Emory is a very small community. If you blink, you're gonna miss Emory. Everyone knows everyone, and if they don't know you, then they know someone that knows you.
Of all the families in Emory, the Caffeys seem to have it all.
The Caffeys were a family that really were paragons of what a family should be. Terry Caffey was a hardworking guy, a serious guy, a guy whose life was very much centered on God and the church.
Terry, he did some ministering. And the mother, Penny, she played the piano and organ. And then the kids would play some instruments.
Wow, that was a great song.
Younger brothers, Tyler and Bubba, are the apple of their parents' eyes. But of all three Caffey kids, 16-year-old Erin's star shines brightest.
The Gospel of Matthew, chapter 27.
Erin Caffey was the oldest daughter in the Caffey family. Like her mother, she was an extremely talented musician. People who went to their church said, I think the quote was, she sang like a cherub.
The word of the Lord.
My daughter, Erin Caffey, everybody. How about a round of applause?
People came to church and they would marvel at Erin Caffey's exquisite beauty. Her pastor said that if he wanted to multiply the population of the church, he wished he could clone a couple of Erin Caffeys.
She did have admirers. There were teenage boys who joined their church just based on seeing Erin.
As in the movie Fear, Erin seems to have a life similar to Reese Witherspoon's character Nicole.
Nicole has lived a privileged life, and she comes from a nice family.
Hello, today's lesson.
But outside of church, Erin doesn't have many friends.
Terry and Penny fit in quite well to the culture of Emory, Texas. They were a little bit suspicious of public education, and so they homeschooled their kids. That's quite an acceptable choice in the Bible Belt.
Does anyone know commandment number 5?
Oh. Honor thy mother and father.
Correct.
The Caffeys think a religious-based education is best for their family, but Erin doesn't agree.
What's wrong now, Erin?
I just want to go to public school like everybody else.
When you're being homeschooled, your social life is extremely limited. Erin was like all other teenage girls. She wanted friends. She wanted to socialize.
You know what they have at public school. Boys. Lots of them. And that means trouble. No, ma'am. You're safer at home. Get back to work.
All she had was the four walls at her little house and her family, and she wanted to be able to mingle and be a teenager.
And I think she felt extremely stifled.
Erin yearns for a little freedom, and she finally gets her wish.
When Erin Caffey turned 16, her parents gave her a truck, and they allowed her to get a job. Erin started working at a fast food place.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Which delighted all the young boys who, came there ostensibly to buy hamburgers.
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't take long for her to attract a few admirers.
Hey, what can I get you guys?
I'll have 2 Cokes and a smile from you. Don't be a jerk.
It's almost amazing to think how quickly Erin's life had changed.
All right, I'll be right back with those.
It was a whole new world that had opened up for her. There was a tremendous amount of freedom and new experiences that waited her. Not only was she working out and about, but she was meeting new people and working with peers, boys and girls her own age.
One of those admirers, 18-year-old Charlie Wilkinson, seems to attract Erin as well.
It appeared that whenever Erin Caffey went to work at the restaurant, Charlie Wilkinson just happened to pull into the parking lot. Charlie Wilkinson himself told me that when he first saw Erin Caffey, he said, "I'm gonna marry that girl." That's how captivating he thought she was.
Hi, what can I get you?
I'm afraid what I want is not on the menu. I'm Charlie.
I'm Erin.
Charlie wasn't like anything Erin had ever experienced.
So, you gonna order something or what?
I'll think about it.
Charlie Wilkinson comes from a less than stellar family background. His parents split up when he was very young. His mother moved several hours away. He only saw his mother a few times a year. And I think he felt a bit neglected.
All right, well, when you decide, you know where to find me.
The difficult upbringing is similar to Mark Wahlberg's character David in the movie Fear.
When David is not around Nicole, he is a drug-dealing drifter with no family and a chip on his shoulder.
As the days go by, Erin is drawn to her new crush, Charlie.
Clearly, he was enraptured by her, and he wanted to be around her, and he wanted to endear himself to her. And I think that he was successful because Erin began to pay quite a bit of attention to him.
So, it's gonna go hang out with some friends. You wanna come?
Sure.
One thing Charlie had was independence, something that Erin sorely lacked. And Charlie did what he felt like doing.
This is my roommate, Charles. That's his girlfriend, Bobby.
Hi.
What's up? Do you want a beer or something?
Oh, I don't really,
Take it. Sorry, trust me.
Okay. Thanks.
Charlie went to public school. Charlie lived in a trailer with other people that weren't his parents.
In the movie Fear, Nicole Walker, played by Reese Witherspoon, meets the boy of her dreams by chance as well.
In Fear, Nicole is playing hooky from school and goes to a pool hall with her friends. And it's there that she sees David. And the attraction between them is instantaneous.
Charlie's bad boy ways are similar to David. As the summer flies by, Charlie and Erin are inseparable. And soon, she invites him home to meet her parents.
I think you're really gonna like him.
I'm sure she hoped that her family would see what she saw in Charlie, and they would embrace him, and they would welcome him in.
But as in the movie Fear, things don't go according to plan.
When David meets Nicole's family, he comes off a bit controlling, and he immediately has issues with her father.
The first meeting between Charlie and Terry was awful. He didn't shake his hands.
Hi, you must be Charlie.
Yeah, that's right.
Her parents were pretty strict, and they expected a very clean-cut, clean living boy. And anybody just slightly off of that standard would not just unnerve them, but alarm them.
I think your parents hate me.
I don't care.
For both Erin and Nicole from the movie Fear, there's something exhilarating about being star-crossed lovers.
Which leads Terry Caffey to immediately conclude, this guy's a punk and I don't want him around. The Caffeys essentially rejected him. Once she has these little tastes of freedom, she begins to pull away from her parents and behave in ways that make her parents quite uncomfortable. She was going to be the one who made all the decisions, and nobody was going to get in her way.
In the small town of Emory, Texas, 16-year-old Erin Caffey and her 18-year-old boyfriend Charlie Wilkinson are just like Reese Witherspoon and Mark Wahlberg's characters in the movie Fear.
When Erin first brought Charlie home, his definition of respect was not Terry Caffey's definition of respect. Erin's father felt that Charlie Wilkinson should stand up and shake the man's hand and perhaps express his pure intentions for both the daughter and the future. And Terry Caffey didn't get that.
Charlie was a young man who did what he wanted to do. If Charlie didn't like something, he said it. If Charlie wanted something, he went after it.
Oh, whoa, is this you from boot camp? I like the uniform.
The only thing Charlie wants is Erin. And even though their parents don't approve of their relationship, she doesn't seem to care.
You do? Well, if you like that, you're gonna like how I can shoot a gun.
Not an uncommon situation where a young teenager has led a sheltered life and then meets a boy that could take her on adventures and experiences that her parents might not approve of, but who a girl like Erin would have been very curious about.
Like Reese Witherspoon and Mark Wahlberg's characters in Fear, the couple quickly becomes intoxicated by love.
For Erin, I don't think she ever realized she was in way too deep. She was in euphoria. When people are in love, it's very hard for them to see things clearly.
In the coming-of-age thriller Fear, Reese Witherspoon's character Nicole falls hard and fast for the local bad boy, David, played by Mark Wahlberg.
When she meets David, she is attracted to the fact that he's a young man who's overcome a lot and still seems like a great person.
But behind David's boyish looks is an angry drifter who is ready to snap.
On the surface, things seem nice, but David had a lot of issues. There is a hint of something else, and it's a bit chilling, kind of a prelude of what's to come.
Erin Caffey's parents think her new boyfriend, Charlie, might be cut from the same cloth.
We just want what's best for you, Erin.
What's best for me is Charlie.
I wouldn't say that the Caffeys ever fully accepted Charlie Wilkinson into their family. They tolerated him. Their daughter was getting older. She was clearly dating him. And they kind of felt that they could control the relationship to a certain extent.
I hate it here.
Erin, but you do live here. And if you're going to live here, you are going to follow the rules.
Like Nicole's father in Fear, Erin's father, Terry, enforces a strict set of rules when it comes to his daughter and her boyfriend.
You're not allowed to be with him more than 1 day a week. You are not allowed to be alone with him ever. And you're not allowed to be out past 9 p.m.
I think Erin deeply resented her parents' control over her life. The fact that she couldn't really make her own choices. Everything she was doing, it appeared, her parents had to approve first.
I said, do you understand?
Yeah.
Eventually, the Caffeys allow Erin to attend public school, so Penny Caffey can return to work. While away from her parents, Erin only gets closer to Charlie.
I love this ring.
Especially after he surprises her with a gift.
This isn't quite an engagement ring, it's a promise ring that they're going to promise themselves to each other.
The ring symbolized, in Charlie's eyes, security.
I love you.
I love you too.
It was his mother's ring from his parents' broken marriage, and it was his way of trying to say, putting this ring on her is going to give me that family, that life back that I lost.
But when Erin's parents learn about Charlie's pledge, they are furious.
Any parent would have been concerned when their 16-year-old daughter comes home with a promise ring from a boy she hasn't known for a very long time.
Oh shoot, I have to go. Okay, I'll see you later.
Now, in Fear, Nicole's father demands that David never see his daughter again.
Terry Caffey does the same.
So my daughter comes home with an engagement ring.
Cool it. You want me to make an honest woman out of her, right? You don't want everyone in town thinking she's a slut.
This relationship is over. If I ever see you with her again, there will be trouble.
Watch it, old man.
The encounter is Charlie's breaking point.
It changed his perspective of his future. He felt threatened by his security with Erin. He was mad then. He did tell me he was mad.
At the Caffey home, Terry believes the relationship between Charlie and his daughter Erin is over.
He said he was done being harassed by Dad and he broke up with me. I loved him. I know it hurts, sweetheart. I know.
When Terry Caffey went to sleep that night, I'd say he was fairly confident that this problem that was Charlie Wilkinson was going to evaporate from their family.
In Fear, Nicole breaks up with David after catching him with another woman.
The difference between their relationship and Erin and Charlie's is that Erin and Charlie's breakup was just a lie.
It worked.
Charlie Wilkinson just wanted to run away with Erin Caffey and live happily ever after.
She viewed her parents as trying to control her and that they would never let her just run away. That no matter where she went, no matter how far she got, Terry and Penny would be there to bring her back home.
Charlie knows he'll never get what he wants as long as Erin's parents are alive.
No matter what happens, you're gonna love me forever, right?
Yeah.
All she wanted was to be with Charlie, and all he wanted was to be with her. It was Erin's parents and her parents alone that were keeping them apart.
I have an idea.
And for that, they needed to die.
Texas teenager Charlie Wilkinson knows his girlfriend Erin Caffey's family is set on destroying their relationship.
I think your parents hate.
According to Charlie Wilkinson, Erin made it extremely clear that as long as her parents were around, the two of them were never going to get to be together.
It's unbelievably similar to the thriller Fear, when Mark Wahlberg's character David blames his ex-girlfriend's family for coming in between them.
This relationship is over!
Like Mark Wahlberg's character in the movie, Charlie is obsessed with Erin. He'll do whatever it takes to keep her, including murder.
Charlie Wilkinson says that the only way they could be together is if her parents were out of the picture, because as long as they were alive, they would thwart that relationship from developing.
Charlie wants the Caffeys gone, but he needs help. So he recruits two of his friends.
It was a guy named Charles Wade, who was 20 years old, but he already had financial burdens. He had 2 kids. He desperately needed money. And if Charlie Wilkinson was going to give him a nice little payday, he was willing to do anything.
Charles Wade's girlfriend, Bobby, is also in on the plan as a getaway driver.
When you hear about the early part of the night, it was, as the song goes, a lonely old night in Emory, Texas. There's nothing all that unusual about that night.
Except that Charlie and Charles are headed straight for Erin's parents' bedroom in order to slaughter them.
Charlie Wilkinson told me that he had a .22 caliber gun. In addition to the .22 caliber gun, these guys had swords with them. Charlie Wilkinson and Charles Wade go into the dark bedroom.
He just started shooting. Penny was the first. He shot her several times, and that's when he got the sword, and he basically decapitated her. Terry woke up to hearing gunshots, and he wasn't even aware that it was him, himself, being shot.
Terry Caffey gets blasted out of the bed. He gets blasted onto the floor.
He rolled off of the bed between the bed and the nightstand and the wall. And he just laid there thinking maybe they'll go away.
Charlie continues shooting until his gun jams.
Mom! Dad!
The parents were shot. And it was after that they went upstairs.
Thinking they may be eyewitnesses to the crime, the two killers hunt down their next victims.
Go!
Erin's two little brothers, 13-year-old Bubba and 8-year-old Tyler.
Go!
Stop!
Back in bed! Go!
Charles Wade takes the .22, fires at Bubba Caffey, and it's a direct hit.
Charlie! Why are you doing this?
Terry Caffey was laying there on the floor, riddled with bullets. Next to him, his wife is dead. He hears his sons being murdered upstairs, and he heard one of them call out, "Charlie, what are you doing?" So he knew who the murderer was.
And then the youngest one, he was hiding in the closet. And they took the sword to him.
Charlie Wilkinson and Charles Wade ransack the home, looking for cash and valuables they can steal.
Come on, man. Hold on.
Wade has been promised any money he can find as payment for killing the Caffeys.
For all the planning, for all the bloodshed, for all the horror, in the end, Charles Wade ended up with, I think, $325. I don't know if that's a sufficient price to pay someone to murder a whole family.
To make sure that no one survives the attack, the killers have one last plan in store for the Caffey family.
When Charlie and Charles are done, they set the house on fire, hoping to erase any evidence of the murders that they have just committed.
The Inferno might allow Charlie Wilkinson to get away with murder.
Who could ever have imagined that something this horrific would have ever befallen this family?
The attack on the Caffey home is strikingly similar to what Mark Wahlberg's character does in Fear.
David blames her father as well as the entire family for their breakup, and he wants to exact revenge. He goes out and recruits some friends to help him, and together they all terrorize Nicole's family.
But like a good Hollywood thriller, just when you think it's over, the plot twists.
Terry Caffey was laying there on the floor, riddled with bullets. The house is aflame. He can barely prop himself up. I mean, the house is burning down around him.
Charlie Wilkinson knows that the only way to be with his girlfriend, Erin, is to kill her entire family. In the 1996 thriller Fear, David, played by Mark Wahlberg, also believes his girlfriend, Nicole's family, is standing in the way of their true love.
It's so sad because he didn't want anything to stand in his way of finally being happy and feeling secure.
With the help of his friend, Charlie kills Erin's two younger brothers and her mother, Penny, all because he believed Erin's parents would never let them be together. And they have left Erin's father for dead.
Terry Caffey was peppered with bullets. His wife was practically beheaded next to him.
For the next hour, Terry crawls 400 yards, desperate to live.
Terry Caffey felt that he was on the verge of dying. But he couldn't die. He wouldn't allow himself to die until he got to the house next door and revealed that Charlie Wilkinson, his daughter's boyfriend, had murdered the entire family.
when he finally reaches his neighbors, the Gastons. He rings their doorbell and collapses.
The Gastons loved Terry Caffey. They loved the entire Caffey family. And to see Terry bleeding and dying at their doorstep was upsetting, alarming, terrifying. So as Terry is laying there, essentially dying in front of them, the Gastons call 911.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
This is Tommy Gaston. I've got a man that's been shot out here at my house.
And is he breathing?
Yes.
When did this happen?
I don't know, just a little bit ago. And we've also got a house on fire out here.
I need to know where he was shot at.
I don't know.
He's right there and you don't know where he was shot?
Yes.
Where's he bleeding
He's bloody all over. I've got to hang up and help him.
Terry falls into a coma as he's rushed to the hospital. There's a chance he won't survive the night. Back at the crime scene, firefighters fight the blaze that's consuming his home.
Once firefighters arrived, they were not able to salvage anything. The house was completely destroyed, right down to the ground.
Firefighters expect to find 4 bodies in the ashes, thinking Charlie wiped out the entire family, even Erin in a fit of rage.
Penny is dead, Tyler is dead, Bubba is dead, and they thought Erin might be dead too.
But crime scene investigators never find her remains.
She was a missing person.
Chief.
Soon, word begins to spread around town that Charlie Wilkinson is the killer.
Okay, thanks for the news. We'll head right over.
The only person who had motive was Charlie Wilkinson. And this is a small town. So one of the deputies goes, "Oh, Charlie Wilkinson. He actually spoke to me about his problems with Erin's parents."
It doesn't take long for authorities to locate Charlie, Charles Wade, and his girlfriend, Bobby.
These kids thought that they were basically going to get away with murder.
Get your hands up. Let me see your hands.
Not realizing that when police learned about the fire and the killing, the first question they asked was, who would have motive to kill the Caffeys? And the only person who had motive was Charlie Wilkinson.
Get up.
Let's go.
Come around.
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
Get up.
Come with me.
Let's go. Get up. Move.
But the question that remains on everyone's mind, what happened to Erin Caffey?
In the movie Fear, nothing is as it seems, and so is the case of Erin Caffey.
When the officer goes back to the house, he begins to just kind of poke around. He opens up the closet, and he sees a tuft of hair that he believes belongs to a doll. And the eyes pop open, and there's Erin Caffey.
My name is Erin Caffey. I've been kidnapped.
In Emory, Texas, Terry Caffey's disapproval of his daughter Erin's boyfriend has become a haunting nightmare. Similar to the Mark Wahlberg, Reese Witherspoon drama, Fear.
This relationship is over.
A father's determination to save his daughter has led to bloodshed.
In both the movie Fear and Erin Caffey's life, what starts out as innocent teenage romance turns into death and murder.
Erin's father, Terry, is in a coma and struggling to survive. Her mother and 2 brothers are dead. And now, police believe Erin's boyfriend has kidnapped her.
Erin really didn't tell them what she was doing there. She just said that some men come in masked and kidnapped her.
Are you okay?
My name is Erin Caffey. I've been kidnapped.
It's okay. You're safe now. Let's get out of here.
At the station, authorities question Erin's boyfriend, Charlie Wilkinson, his friend, Charles Wade, and Charles's girlfriend, Bobby Johnson, in connection with the murders. They also bring in Erin Caffey.
I need you to tell me what happened last night. Thank you. You can go out.
It was my boyfriend, Charlie. He forced me out of the house. He took me to his trailer, and I couldn't escape.
Erin was telling the police that she was kidnapped. I don't know where I am or why I'm here. I just know they kidnapped me in the middle of the night.
She is given the appearance that she's been through something traumatic, and she's essentially experiencing some form of PTSD.
But next door, an entirely different tale is unfolding.
I don't know what you think, but I'm not the one that wanted this done.
Okay, Charlie, if you didn't plan this, then who did?
Erin Caffey.
Now fearful he will go to jail for the rest of his life, Charlie turns on his true love, Erin.
Charlie and Charles were interrogated separately, yet their stories matched.
She wanted them dead for a very long time.
I need them gone. I need them dead.
They both said, "It's not me that wanted to do this. It's Erin. It's Erin. She's the mastermind. She's the one who wanted us to kill her family." Erin knew that she and Charlie could never be together as long as her parents were alive.
I want you to kill them for me.
She was like, it will never work. They will always be interfering. If you want to be with me, this is the only way.
Will you kill them for me?
Charlie claims he did what Erin wanted only because he couldn't imagine life without her.
So we did it.
With Charlie, he was from a broken home. He had found the love of his life, and he wanted a family. And he did not want anything to stand in the way of his family, his security, because he considered Erin his.
The night of the murder, she packed a bag of clothes, and she called me a couple times to let me know that she was ready. And when we got to the house, she left the front door unlocked so we could go in. She wanted her family dead. It was her plan. I'm telling you the truth. I swear. We asked her over and over again if she wanted to change her mind about us killing her family. She said no. She was very adamant about it.
The men tell authorities as her family was slaughtered, Erin waited safely in the getaway car.
Erin sat with Bobby and heard the screams of her family as they were murdered.
Go! Stop!
And she was happy and gleeful.
Back in bed! Go!
And waited impatiently for Charles and Charlie to return so she could escape. Right after the killings, Erin and Charlie went back to his trailer and made love. They were so deluded in their love for each other that all they cared about was the success that they had had in murder.
Charlie states that when police showed up to his trailer, he and Erin had a plan.
Charlie said to Erin, hide, and she ran into the closet.
It is then Erin decides that the only way to avoid being arrested is to blame Charlie for kidnapping. Although authorities have a hard time seeing Erin as a cold-blooded killer, all the evidence points to her as the mastermind of her family's demise.
It was Erin! It was all Erin!
When Erin's phone was confiscated, it was clear that not only was she calling Charlie constantly in the hours leading up to the murders, she was texting and instructing Charlie and their friends to come to the house and get this thing done.
Erin is arrested along with her boyfriend Charlie and their friends Charles and Bobby. She thinks her boyfriend has wiped out her entire family. But at the hospital, Terry Caffey's faith is helping him survive his darkest hour. He has come out of his coma.
Terry Caffey is extremely weak, physically and mentally. He's initially hardened to learn that Erin Caffey is alive. His daughter is still alive. He has one member of his family who he can live the rest of his life with. And that is followed up with the most upsetting news that yes, she's alive, but she is a party in the murder plot.
During the trial, Charlie Wilkinson, Charles Wade, and Bobby Johnson accept full responsibility for their crimes.
Charles Wade and Charlie Wilkinson both received life without parole. Bobby Johnson received 40 years behind bars.
But Erin Caffey is a different story.
Erin is the only one of all the other three that has never confessed. You know, she's the youngest and she's the only one that's not confessed to her story.
Terry Caffey accepts his daughter's involvement in the murders but refuses to believe she was the mastermind.
A jury determined that despite what Terry Caffey wanted to believe about his daughter, she was the one completely responsible for this plot. It would not have happened without Erin. And as a result, she received 2 life sentences plus 25 years, and she won't be eligible for parole for more than 40 years.
After the trial, Terry Caffey remarries. And like Nicole's father in the movie Fear, no matter what horrors transpired, he still stands by his daughter.
Erin is the only thing he has left. He lost the rest of his family. And so how can he walk away from the only remnant of that family? As a result, he's shown compassion for Erin, he's shown forgiveness for Erin, and I believe he still loves her the way he did when she was a little girl.
The irony to Erin's life is she wanted freedom to love and be with whom she loved. And now she's alone, in isolation, paying for the murder of her mother and 2 brothers.